Can you hear it shaking? I don't know why I'm shaking it. I've already mixed it up. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. It's almost the weekend. We're almost there. This is our 32nd Obliterating Obstacles. Can you believe we've done 32 of these? It blows my mind. Anyway. No, we haven't done enough dance parties. I'm sorry. We have not done enough dance parties. So we're going to draw while we're dancing, wiggling. What are we going to draw today? What challenge are we going to solve today? This is the one. This is it right here. All right. Turn the music off. Oh, boy. Imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome. Oh, my gosh. And here I was like, maybe this will be a quick one. Imposter syndrome is not a quick one. Okay, so let's do this. Because we got several, actually we got 4 of you on here today so far. In comments, what is your imposter syndrome? What comes up for you? When you think about imposter syndrome, it's okay. This is a safe place. Share what comes up for you. So specifically, we're talking about when you're going live and you start to believe, think, feel, whatever words you want to use, all this stuff. Nobody's going to watch you. Nobody wants to watch you. What gives you the right to be going live? You shouldn't be going live. And it probably gets worse from there, right? We begin to doubt ourselves and our abilities. So I would love to see what you all think here. I'm not going to put it on screen because I don't want anybody to feel called out. But there are people better, younger, smarter than me. That's a big one. I would also add thinner, prettier, all kind of fit into that same space, right? Another person says, I'm not as good as people tell me I am, right? So they think I'm good, but really I'm not good. I'm not good at what I do. I have doubts. I have doubts that I'm actually able to help people, right? I'm not good enough and I don't know what I'm talking about, okay? All of these things, this is all imposter syndrome. Susan Goodson, who is part of our Get on Camera group, she says, this is all brain trickery. That's what she calls it. It's brain trickery, right? It's all designed to keep you safe. And that is that part of the brain's job. So you have to look at it and go, okay, this part of my brain is just doing what it is programmed to do and has been programmed to do for millions of years, right? And that is keep me safe. Keep me away from the bear that's trying to eat me. That's its job. And so as these thoughts come in, it's trying to keep you safe and away from the danger. Going live is a scary thing. And so your brain's trying to save you from that by planting these thoughts that are just not true. But oh my gosh, do they feel true? Am I right? Like sometimes it's just on repeat and it's just relentless in your mind, trying to stop you, trying to get in your way. Oh my gosh, so many more going through. Here's what I want to say before I even keep reading some of these. And I'm not putting them on screen because I don't want anybody to feel called out. This alone should give you comfort. Looking at all of these people who are sharing all of this, everyone has this. Everyone has a little bit of imposter syndrome. Everyone has it. Maybe worse than you, maybe same as you, maybe some of the same things. And sometimes it feels good to know you're not alone in feeling this, right? Okay, so we've got, people will think I'm boring. Oh, yes. Yes. It can be anything and everything, right? Okay, so what do we do? I am by no means a therapist. I am by no means, this is not necessarily my zone of genius. There are lots of people in this group, I'm sure they will comment, that this is the space that they play in. And so those are great people to reach out to if this is something that you want more help with. But here's what I want to give you. I want to at least share what I have done to begin to conquer imposter syndrome. How do I deal with this? And here's the deal. It's a practice. Because if I get rid of one thought, there's something else coming. There's always something else, right? And I think it's Stephanie Thompson, who many of you know in this group. She has quieted that voice in her head. the voice in her head doesn't tell her all of these things, but it takes practice and a lot of flipping work to get to that point. Okay. So what do you do? How do you manage this? Lots of different things out there. There's no magic pill. There's no magic wand. I say this all the time. I wish I had a magic wand. I would be making millions of dollars if I had a magic wand that actually worked. What you have to find is the thing that works for you. And this is true in so many things, right? Whether it's how do I organize my day, or how do I grow my business, or how do I do any of the things that we are bombarded with so many people giving different ideas and thoughts and perspectives. That is what is so wonderful about being an entrepreneur. I saw this on a video the other day. I wish I could remember who it was because it was so good. She said, if you want somebody to tell you what to do, go get a job. Because when you go get a job, they're going to tell you exactly what to do for 8 hours a day. That's the reason we all left that job. That's the beauty of being an entrepreneur, is that we have choices and options and we get to work the way we want to work. The challenge is, how do you navigate your way through all of the different ideas and find your way? So I'm going to throw out a bunch of ideas. I'm guessing there are people on live with us today that also have amazing ideas and things that they've done. I'm going to encourage you all to share. What do you do? What helps you get in control of your imposter syndrome? Share those in the comments while I kind of run through some of the things that I have tried. So one of the things that helps me is that I've named the voice in my head. Okay. Her name is Gertrude. If you're going to do this, I would encourage you to pick a ridiculous name, because what you don't want to do is name the voice in your head Gina. And then next thing you know, you have a client named Gina. That's not going to work. So I'm hoping I'm not ever going to have a client named Gertrude. Okay. It also helps to visualize what she looks like. It doesn't even have to be a she. It can be a he. It could be a dragon. It could be a snake. You pick. What does she look like? Imagine. Okay. My Gertrude looks like the woman from Monsters, Inc. with the pointy glasses. Hopefully you know who I'm talking about. That's what she looks like. And so what helps me is when she starts in telling me all of these things that you all have shared. You're boring. You're not as good as people think you are. There's people better than me. There's people younger, smarter, thinner, prettier than me. Blah, blah, blah. You're too fat. You're too, I can't find them all fast enough. Okay. I go to the voice in my head and I say, Gertrude, enough. Stop. Sometimes it's helpful to say stop. As much for yourself, for her, for everything else. Think about it. If you had a real person standing there telling you all of that stuff, you would be like, stop, punch him in the nose, right? Same kind of concept. Argue with her. Tell her to stop. What has helped for me, I got this from, oh my gosh, it was either Patty or May. I can't remember who I got this from. It was Patty. Send her to the coffee shop. Gertrude, I appreciate what you're trying to tell me right now, but right now I can't have this. I'm trying to go live. So you need to go to the coffee shop and you can come back and we can have a conversation later. But right now I'm trying to do this. And she'll take a break. Sometimes she tries to creep back in and I just go, I said coffee shop, and she'll go away. Okay. Another thing you can do is actually talk to Gertrude. I learned this from May. Talk to Gertrude. Okay, Gertrude, you got 5 minutes because you're clearly trying to tell me something. What are you trying to tell me? Let's be productive about this. Is there something is there something I'm supposed to learn, something I'm supposed to see, something I'm supposed to uncover, or you're just being a pain in my butt? Like, put a time limit on it. Don't let it spiral into 30 minutes or 60 minutes of obsessing over this idea or this thought. You got 5 minutes. What are you trying to tell me? What's going on in there? Okay. Another thing that helps me, and I find that this helps a lot when it comes to nerves, okay, but it would apply here to imposter syndrome as well, is write those things down, okay? So I rambled through a bunch of them earlier. Actually write them on paper, get a notebook or digital planner, whatever you want to use, write it out, and then logically, is that true or not true? Is it true or not true? Okay, if it's true, so what? What can I do about it? Is there an action plan I can do around it? If it's not true, then it's just nonsense. And then you just swat it away like a fly. Like, I'm not even going to listen to this anymore because it's so not true. Okay, so those are just some ideas that come up top of my head. I want to get to some of your comments because I bet you got some good stuff. But I want to cover one more thing. Sometimes it's helpful to argue against that thought. Okay, so I said, is it true? Is it not true? Okay, argue, like play devil's advocate with the voice in your head. What proof do you have that that's crap? Or argue against it. Okay, so let's just go down this path. I'm gonna go down this path of imposter syndrome is telling you there are other people prettier, smarter, better, whatever. Okay, is that true? Probably so. Yeah, probably so. There are people prettier, better, skinnier, whatever words you want to use in there. Is that true? Yeah, it's true. Okay, but why is it stopping me? Where is it written in the rule books that you must be those things to go live? We're going to use go live because we're in my space. But imposter syndrome can creep in everywhere, right? Where is it? Where does it say that? Where does it say that only people who are model pretty are allowed on video? Because I don't know where that's written. Okay. Where is it written that you can only help somebody if you have some sort of degree or certification or so many years of experience? Where is that written? It's not. It's the crap we tell ourselves, right? Because we're trying to keep ourselves safe. The brain is doing its job. Okay, I'm telling you right now, there is no rule. That rule does not exist. Just look at your phone tonight. Do an experiment. I know this sounds horrible, but just do it. Go down your phone and look at people. Are you going to find people of all shapes and sizes and colors and all? Yes. And they're all doing it. It's not stopping them. So why are you going to let it stop you? What makes you different is you. Are there people who are better, smarter, all of those things? Sure. But none of them are you. Your clients, your people want to work with you because it's you. They're choosing you because something connected. They like you. They like how you do it. Just because someone is better at something doesn't mean that they're a better teacher, a better coach, a better anything. It's all about attracting the right people for you and them attracting the right coach that they need for themselves. And I'm using coach, just I know not everybody's a coach, but okay. It's got to be a fit on both sides or it doesn't work. There are millions and millions and millions of people out there who need what you do. And you're not the only one. There are multiple of yous out there in this same space doing the same thing as you, but nobody does it like you. That's why I talk all the time about being yourself and bringing your whole self to work and showing up as your whole self and really talking about the things that make you different because that's how you stand out. And when you start to embrace that, you start to basically say, imposter syndrome, you can go to wherever. Because I'm just being me, and that's gonna attract all the right people. Okay, let's see what we got for comments. Oh my gosh, I'm sure there's so much good stuff in here. I just see it going. Bah, 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 bah. All right. Stephanie says it feels good to know I'm not alone. Absolutely, absolutely, it does. Everybody's saying it absolutely relates to them. It fits with them. Okay, Tammy says it's not the going live; it's the information is not valuable enough. Okay, so let's talk about that because I'm sure you're not alone in thinking that. Who assesses that? They assess that. Not you. I can't tell you how many times I have picked up the phone and given somebody a tip. And and my thought was, oh, that's not a very good tip. They're going to want another tip because that wasn't a very good tip. And they respond back to me and they're like, oh my gosh, you blew my mind. You changed my world. Because many times our perfect clients are us 5 years ago. And we've navigated through some of these challenges. It's hard for us to remember what it was like 5 years ago when we were in the struggle. And we've learned so much. I talk about the 10-gallon hat. If you haven't heard me tell the 10-gallon hat, ask me sometime and I'll tell you the 10-gallon hat. But the whole concept is you've got so much information in here. And we often try to force feed it to people. And it's like, here, fire hose. Let me just give you everything that I know. And nobody can absorb that. Really good tip. Whatever you're planning to share, cut it in half. That's what most people can absorb. It is valuable to them because they're in a different place than where you are. They're where you were 5 years ago. Don't ever forget that. You guys are going to get me a magic wand for Christmas. It needs to work though, Robin, not just be some gimmicky thing. Although it would be cool prop to have. I like this. And buy them in bulk. Oh my gosh, you're so funny. Okay, Kim says, looking at what I've accomplished and the connections I've made helps. Yes. Everyone should have a brag book. Create a brag book, whether it's digital or paper. In your brag book, every time something good happens, every time somebody gives you a positive comment, every time somebody says, oh my gosh, this helped me so much, write it in your brag book. There are studies that show that when we're having this yuck feeling, when the imposter syndrome is heavy, all it takes is 90 seconds to turn it around. So go and get your brag book. I don't think I have a book here. Get your brag book. Read for 90 seconds. Read all the positive things, all of the accomplishments, all of the people you've helped, all of the things that you've done. In 90 seconds, I promise you'll feel better. And that imposter syndrome will shut up because you're proving it wrong. You're proving it wrong. Okay. Tiffany says, I remind myself that all the negative thoughts in my head are not my own voice. They are a culmination of the voices of other people who've told me those things. Yeah, yes. You were born loving yourself, and other people have taught you that you are not enough. Oh my gosh. So right on. So right on. But I can't say it any better than that. That was awesome. Awesome. You guys are cracking me up. Stephanie says, yes, you got that. Or Tammy says, yes, you got it. It's why we need to get in touch with the real us. Yep. Right? That's why naming the voice in your head and calling her Gertrude makes it easier. Because you're like, this is not my voice. This is not me, the real me telling me that I'm bad at these things. This is just this voice that is the culmination of all these other things and all of these bad things, right? Send her to the coffee shop. Okay. Was this helpful today around imposter syndrome? That's what we drew out. How do you get over the imposter syndrome? Okay. I know when it comes to doing videos, the struggle with imposter syndrome is that it stops you from going live because of all of these things. And what's really hard is that when you first start going live and there's nobody on or nobody commenting, it just fuels that voice. Like it gives Gertrude the ammunition to be like, see, I told you so. I told you so. You don't remember. And so what do you got to do in those moments? You got to get really freaking clear on your big why. If your big why is not big enough, then you're going to be like, see, it's not worth it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go live. Because your big why is not motivating and inspiring. And I always say, when it's big enough, you will walk through broken glass to achieve it because you want it that badly. So if your big why is not big enough, okay, let me give you an example. If my big why is, I want to make $1 million. I want to make $1 million. Well, who doesn't want to make $1 million? But is that going to make me walk through fire, walk through broken glass? No. Okay. What if my big why is, I don't want to work at corporate anymore. I want to have my own business. Okay. That's a good goal. Is that enough to help me walk through glass over? No. Okay. But if my big why is that I can actually help someone who is struggling with this so they don't have to go through the same pain or frustrations that I have gone through, will I show up for that person who I don't even know yet, who maybe I haven't even met yet? You're darn right I will. So I say to you guys all the time, if you're struggling with consistency in going live, put it out there publicly, schedule it, create an event once a week. Because you will show up for your person. You will show up for that person who may need exactly what you're doing on that day. No matter what's going on in here. Oh, you're not going to do this and you're going to suck at this. And you know what? Somebody needs me today. Somebody needs this message. I could do this example. I've said this. I've shared this with you all before. I think at one point we had 9 people on this live. What if this morning, right before I was going to go live, I went, I'm not feeling like who am I to talk about imposter syndrome, right? I'm not a therapist. I'm not schooled in imposter syndrome. I need to just be done. There are so many more people more qualified to talk about imposter syndrome. There are so many more people that have expertise and years of schooling on imposter syndrome. Who am I to talk about it? What if I thought that? You all got something from the 20 minutes we've spent together. Maybe it was just an idea. Maybe it was a nugget. Maybe it was a suggestion. Maybe you're like, that's it. I'm going to name that voice in my head. I'm going to send her to the coffee shop. You got value out of this 20 minutes. I might not think it's value. I might be thinking in my brain, there's a whole lot of nothing here. But it was valuable to you. You got something from it. And me showing up today, going live, even when I didn't feel like it, that's why I do it. Right? I will share. I'm going through, it's a nightmare with my husband's help. It is a nightmare. And it would be so easy for me to say, I'm going through some things. I'm just not feeling it. I'm not going to show up for you all. Easy for me to do that, to get sucked into that. But instead I think, no, 9 people today needed this. And that's not even counting the people who are going to watch this on replay. Show up for your people. Best tip that I can give you around imposter syndrome. You are an expert to someone, even if it's something you just learned. I use Flipstick all the time with this, right? When I found out this thing existed, I bought like 3 of them. And I told everybody about it. Am I an expert on this? No, I literally got it the night before. But I know more than you do because I bought it and you don't have it and you need to go and buy it. Expertise is how you define it. I'm not out here saying I invented this product. This is my product. Buy this from me. I'm saying, yo, this is cool. You need to go and get this. So it's the same way with our own stuff. You're not out there saying, I am the world-renowned leader in my space. You're saying, I know a thing or two about this, and I want to share and I want to help people. They choose whether or not they're going to listen to you. Okay. See what else we got in here in comments, and then we'll wrap up. Always helpful. Thank you. You're so welcome. It's about your relationship with yourself, for sure. For sure. Sandy did a live earlier this week. It was so beautifully done. It was about being an artist in our own life. And she talked about some of these things. And it was spectacular. If you missed it, go back and watch it. It's a good one. Start with Why. Oh, it's a great book. Yes. Simon Sinek, right, Tiffany? I think that's Simon Sinek. If that's not his book, he has a book about why. So very good. We have so many ways to make ourselves believe we should get up. Yeah. Because I'm going to touch on this, Stephanie. This is more about nerves, but I think it applies to imposter syndrome, right? We are making this live video is scary. It's scary. I don't want to do it. It's scary. And so the brain goes, ooh, I know what to do when it's scary. I fill her head with all of these reasons why she shouldn't, doesn't want to do this. And then she won't do it. And then we're safe from the video, the scary bear of a video. So what do? You make the video, less scary. As soon as it's less scary, she'll stop all of that because it's not scary. She's not being turned into get into gear, go do it. How do you make it less scary? Practice, learn. That's why you're all in here. You learn, process, models, things that help. Okay. Now, many of you have taken this imposter syndrome and talking about your business versus just video. It's the same thing. What are you scared of in your business? Some of you are scared of failure. Some of you are scared of success. Some of you are scared of what if I can't do it? All of those things come up, right? Make it less scary. How do you make it less scary? You learn, you practice, you get feedback, you talk to your people. All of those things will combat this imposter syndrome. Oh, such good stuff. See, I could talk about this for hours, but I'm not going to. You're very welcome. It is encouragement for sure. Okay, Tiffany says yes, it was Simon Sinek. I had that right. Yep. Okay, Sherry's got it. Even if you screw up, so what? That's how you learn. I don't know about you all, but I learn more from my failures than my successes. So I don't look at them as failures anymore. And there's a famous quote. I won't remember who said it. But there's like success and then there's lessons. There's no fail. You learn from the things when you suck. That's what we're all programmed to do. We all think we want to be perfect and we want everything perfect out of the gate. Nobody's perfect, especially at stuff you're doing for the first time or you're new at it. You're not perfect at it. Right? If you've ever watched, last little bitty story that I will share. I just happened to see it this weekend. Ed Sheeran, I'm a big Ed Sheeran fan. And he was on a talk show. This is years ago. And he was saying how everybody always says, oh, you were just born with talent. You were just born with talent. And he's like, I came to prove y'all wrong. He gets out his phone and he's going like this on his phone. He gets the video and he puts it up to the mic and it's him singing at maybe 6 or 7 years old. It's awful. It is absolutely horrendous. I mean, it's like, oh my gosh, the notes he was hitting, it's like ear splitting, right? And he says, not everybody was born with it. Some of us had to work our butts off and learn and train and suck and adjust. And so think about that. Ed freaking Sheeran sucked when he first started singing. And look at him now. He's amazing. He's one of my favorites. You learn by going through the suck, unfortunately. Yep, Tiffany's got it. Fail forward. And Robin says, and fail fast. Yes. Oh my gosh, what a motivating, inspiring, obliterating obstacles today. I will tell you, when I first pulled this out of the bin, I was like, oh no, this is going to be a long one. But you know what? We're going to wrap it up. Anybody have any other questions or comments about imposter syndrome? And those of you that are watching on replay, please drop in what your imposter syndrome looks like, sounds like. We'll all chime in and help you with some ideas. And if you have things that work for you around how do I get rid of my imposter syndrome, sometimes you're not going to cure it. All you're trying to do is get past it for that moment. And the more you get past it, the less she'll start in. All right. I'm not saying anything else. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. I will say this. Oh, that's so great. Robin says, I needed to hear this today. See, right there. This is why you show up for your people. This is why you go live. Because you never know when somebody needs to hear something that you're going to share. They might not even know they need to hear it. Be your wonderful imposter self. You're exactly right. It's you that people want. You. All right. Here's what I was going to say. Starting next week, it is October already. Can you believe this, you all? It's October. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm still going to be live every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 Central. They're just going to rotate a little bit. Tuesdays will all be about video. Don't worry. We will still draw some obliterating obstacles, if not, at least once, if not twice a month. But those will be on Tuesdays along with other video tips. Thursdays are going to all be about Facebook groups, Facebook profiles, how to go live on Facebook. So now Tuesdays and Thursdays are going to shift starting next month. So just wanted to call that out. Hopefully you'll still tune in for Tuesday and Thursday. That's what it's all about. All right, everybody, have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Have a great weekend if I don't talk to you. We do have Beyond the Camera tomorrow on Friday. Jeannie and Kirsten are talking about marketing VAs, which is just this fascinating topic as far as I'm concerned. So hopefully you'll tune in for that. And that's it. Have a great weekend. Hopefully you're getting some fall weather. Talk to y'all soon. Bye, guys.